Alright, what's up fellow Path of Exile fans? Don't mind me, I'm just here using Spectral Helix for, a little while. I'm going to go ahead and cover a build guide here for what I'm going to call the happy face emoji, smiley face emoji of death build. So let's cover how this build works just to start with, and then I'll show you a little bit of actual gameplay time here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and use Spectral Helix for about 3 minutes. I usually like to use it for about 3 minutes, so we're done with that now. Now let's show you how this works in case you don't know exactly what in the heck is going on the screen here. What you're going to do in a build like this is you're going to need an amulet like this. You may have seen this before. I've seen some builds on the internet out there showing this off, especially with Spectral Helix, because I think Spectral Helix is probably the best skill that you can use with this. But you're going to be looking for something like this. You're probably not going to get anywhere near what I have here with this 90% reduced projectile speed. Okay, let's be honest, this is kind of a god tier amulet that I'm never going to have an item this powerful ever again in this game. But you can find amulets that are kind of similar to this for, like maybe a divine or two that have like maybe 50 or 60% reduced projectile speed. And then you can just come on over to the tree, go down to the bottom right, and you'll find this wheel right here where you can find another 10% reduced and another 10% reduced here, and then you can get 15% less from the mastery. You can also use a lesser projectile gem as well. So you're going to combine this together, and you're going to be looking for a total of around 99% reduced projectile speed. And if you get that, you can just check here on your character in miscellaneous projectile speed modifier. You can see minus 99%. All I had to do was take one extra node to get mine to 99% because my amulet already gave me the 90%. All right. So once you're done with that, you're gonna sit and you're going to start using. He wasn't supposed to come yet, but that's okay. You're gonna go ahead and use. Spectral Helix for, I would say, about 3 minutes. And then after you're done with that, you're going to wait, and you're going to wait for it to actually form your perfect little smiley face outside surroundings. Now, in order to complete a smiley face, you're going to need a couple more things more than just the outside border of the circle. All right? Preferably, you're going to want to have a background for your happy face. Something like this to make it kind of a perfect full happy face. So for that, I've chosen to just use a vortex. I recommend putting some increased AoE and some increased duration on it so you don't have to just keep casting it over and over again to have that nice background on your smiley face emoji. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need 2 eyes and you're going to need a mouth. The nose is optional. I choose to not go with the nose for my happy faces. I'd have to go back and look up a true happy face emoji, but from my recollection, I don't think they usually have noses. So personally, again, I'm going to choose to just go with just the eyes and the mouth. All right, so once you've cast this for about 3 minutes, you're going to wait for another roughly about 3 to 4 to 5 minutes. So right now, it's been about 3 minutes since I stopped. Now let me go ahead and give you a fair warning about this build. This build does have pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages like all builds. This is not going to be a speed clearing build. As you can see, it takes a while for the full outline of the happy face emoji to fully finish and complete itself. So if you're looking to complete maps in, say 2 to 3 minutes, like zoom style, this isn't going to be the build for you. But if you like emojis and if you're just looking for a new way to kill enemies in Path of Exile, then I would recommend this build for you. A lot of people out there that might be looking for something new, looking for some novelty. Maybe, if people ask you, have you killed uber bosses in a bunch of different ways with a bunch of different skills? Have you used attacks? Have you used a spell-based build? Probably a lot of people may be able to say, yes, I have. But can they say that they've used a perfectly made emoji to kill the ubers? My guess is probably not. Now, what I like to do is I like to point my character kind of downwards when I'm casting using my Spectral Helixes, because as you can see, once it's just about to finish making the outline, you end up with kind of almost a little smile down here at the bottom, kind of showing you how you're going to make your smile. All right, so let's ignore that, and let's go ahead and start working on our smile. I'm going to go ahead and put the eyes first, and for this, we're going to be using a Frostbolt. I have a Frostbolt MTX, so it's going to be black. All right, so let's put our eyes Also, your ability, now this is the hardest part of this build, is making the smile here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of try to like trace along. It's probably not going to look very good, but we're just going to do our best. I'm going to trace along pretty much like that. Let me get this little bit right here and maybe one more here. Perfect. Okay, add your background and you're ready to kill enemies. Let's go get them. Here they come. Okay, and maybe look at this. Look at how good this build is. A swarm of enemies, they can't get through it. Boom, dead to the happy face. Dead to the smiling emoji. Whoa, coming over. Killed with the smiling emoji. Dead. Perfect. And that right there is how you kill enemies. Hordes of enemies. They're not getting through this wall. That's how you kill them with a smiley face. Now, a final downside deficit of this build is once you're done killing them, the smiley face will stop looking like a smiley face depending on how you cast all these spells. And then, whenever you're done, the final best thing about this build is that you can go ahead and light off some fireworks once you're done with the build. So we'll light off our fireworks, which I think look pretty cool. And then we'll call it a day with a little final firework celebration. These aren't the only fireworks you can use. There's a lot of different ones you can use. But after quite a bit of thorough testing for this build, I found these to be some of the best firework style fireworks. And there you have it. That is the advanced, high level, possibly, I would argue it might be one of the greatest builds that the game's ever seen. Builds of Path of Exile. That is how you kill enemies with a smiley face emoji. Thank you very much.